intellectual stuff or theory comes out of practice, as well, in Bourdieu's sense. So sorry to give you a bit of history, but I will give you a small amount of history. My first desire to enter into the core world was to do two things. First of all, to relieve teachers from boring practices in class and maximize the value of the classroom. Now, this was in the days before I attacked the notion of the classroom, but anyway. So if we're going to have classroom, let's do the best we can instead of doing, repetitive stuff. People say, "Oh, that's just what we do in flipped classrooms." Remember the flipped classroom? And this, yeah. And the second thing was that I also thought that the ways in which we could use technology to respond to individual students' answers, if you want, to certain problems or language issues could be useful. So the first thing that I wrote was a closed test maker, and it worked very well. So and students would write, in the closed test you have gaps, and the students have to fill in the gaps. And sometimes they write the correct thing or one of the correct things. Sometimes they write some things which are wrong, and you can collect all of these things and you can give feedback appropriate to each of the responses which are made. And I thought, well, that's very good, because it means that students can get some kind of individualized feedback in terms of their understandings of whatever it is that they're currently doing. So that's basically it, and it is in essence what we do in rhizomatic systems. It is in essence what we do in self-managed or self-organized environments, because what we do is we let people experiment or get challenged with something, and then we give them some help and guidance if they require it.
Okay, so this is the framework, right? So this is the framework.
Yeah.
Now we're going closer and closer. So you started in a maybe slightly primitive way because
Yeah.
technology was primitive, but also, as you said, from theory emerges from practice. And the first principle you started to have is challenge, and then students feel challenged, and now they look. We give them opportunities or possibilities to explore their way out of a challenge.
Right.
So that's a principle. I don't want it to be lost. It's a principle.
And the principle